I made every single mistake in the book with my Anthurium, and I'm here to save you from making the same blunders. Why, oh why, is it the pretty ones who always cause the most problems? Hi everyone. If you know Anthurium, then you know they are beautiful, stunning plants with their velvety silver vining leaves and their long form foliage, like my King Anthurium over there, and my Queen Anthurium, which I just started growing. But you'd also know they are a pain in the butt to grow because a lot of them, especially the more beautiful ones, require a lot of attention. But once you nail those things, you've got it all down. And I'm going to go over those things with you because there are 5 of them, and they involve airflow, they involve water, they involve humidity, they involve soil, and they involve light. But first things first, I want to start with soil because I'm having an issue with one of mine. This here is my Anthurium regale. That's right, the same Anthurium regale that I purchased off of Amazon, which up in the corner, there's a link to that video if you want to watch it later. Very interesting story. But this plant is dealing with an issue, one of those issues, and it is related to soil. So take a look at its leaf because you can kind of see for yourself the discoloration that is happening there. Discoloration in Anthurium can be caused by 4 things. One, it can be an older leaf. Two, it can be water quality. Three, it can be light stress. And four, it can be soil compaction. And I believe that is the issue with this because I thought that I had put it together in a really good chunky aeroid soil mix, but by the looks of it, I don't think I really did it well enough. So that is what I believe is causing the light stress because up there in my plant display where this plant lives, it gets optimal conditions. I mean, great bright indirect light. It gets good humidity up there and also has incredible airflow. And so I know for a fact, having designed my plant display to basically be like a Colombian rainforest, that it's definitely not one of the other ones because every time I water my Anthurium leaves, my Anthurium plants, I should say, I always clean off their leaves. And I know that it could be, pests could be another issue, but I can assure you the amount of care and quality that I give to these plants that it is not pests because I monitor and inspect them literally daily. Yep, it's definitely soil compaction. I mean, that is, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how dense of a soil I put it in. Look at that. Shame on me, you know, shame on me. So, what we're going to do is we are going to peel this apart. And sometimes, because in this case, oh man, and I thought that this soil had been dried out because I hadn't watered this in like maybe like 9 days. And mind you, here in the northern hemisphere, it's summer, and right now my western facing windows are getting blasted with light. And so this baby should have dried out by now. It's surprising to me that it hasn't. And so I know that soil compaction, which also leads to the water buildup in here, is definitely causing that stress. But fortunately, its roots look really good and healthy, and so we are in luck there. So what we're going to do, oh man, this is like clay almost. And this is how important it is because with Anthurium plants, they are wanting, in order to thrive, a really good chunky aeroid soil mix. And if you're curious what a chunky aeroid soil mix is, I have ingredients for it. Just click on the video up in the corner there. And yeah, this baby was not doing well. So now that we have that freed, I mean, that is like a brick. But look at how healthy those roots are. Its roots weren't this big when I got it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to go over to the sink. And that's because we want to give it a nice thorough rinse down to get all of this compact soil off of the plant's roots. That is crucial because you don't want it to be sitting there because then it'll just kind of collect and sit there, be stagnant. And also, it just kind of is a nice way to clean them off and make them ready for its new soil, which is what we're going to get to right now. Okay, so now that we have the plant out of that dense medium, I'm going to put it in a better chunky aroid mix that I made sure was even chunkier this time with really chunky perlite. And so also it is a good time for repotting because this plant was getting really thick roots that I could see. And this Anthurium in particular, Regale, really loves a wider space. If you want it to get really big and grow like as large as my King Anthurium, then this is the route to take. So we're just going to put down that medium there. And another issue with that other pot was that, yeah, it was tall enough, but the problem with it was the fact that it wasn't wide enough. And this one's wide enough, so this will be really good for it. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to gently put it in there like so. And then we are just going to put this chunky aroid mix around it, and that should be pretty simple to do. Now, another thing too, when it comes to Anthurium, because they do love a chunky mix, is you want to top layer it with some sphagnum moss. That's something that I learned, gosh, only about a year and a half ago after owning Anthurium for, gosh, I think 5 years. Yeah. And so it's a really nice thing to do if you really want your Anthurium to thrive, because what it does is it kind of replicates in nature where they would be, which is a rainforest. And it allows them on the top level of their soil to have moisture that kind of just sits up there, because these plants are moisture lovers. They're just not the amount of moisture that was being in that dense soil. So yes, they want moisture, but they want a breathable mix. So we just simply take this sphagnum moss, just gonna squeeze it out of the water that I had in it to make it loosened up, and we're just going to top layer it. And it's really simple to do, and that, my friends, is the importance of soil with Anthurium. Anthurium can be grown indoors or outdoors. Regardless of where you grow them, they are thirsty plants. And before we dive into that, I want to let you know this summer, smarter watering starts with these 3 tools. First up, RainPoint's Wi-Fi timer. It reacts to real-time weather and tracks water usage for the past 12 months and demonstrates how to create a low humidity irrigation scenario in conjunction with soil sensors. You can even schedule sunrise watering through its app. And their soil sensor keeps track of moisture and temperature, so your plants always get just what they need. Then there's BaldrTherm's thermometer, solar powered, zero batteries, and super accurate. I've dropped the links and a 10% off code in the video description below. Now let me know which one you would choose. On to watering Anthurium. From soil to watering, this one is a super crucial one. Whenever you're watering your Anthurium, you'll want to use filtered or distilled water. That's simply because the chemicals in tap water can really cause harsh conditions to their foliage, also oftentimes causing discoloration, if you notice that. And so another trick is to use a little bit of fertilizer in your watering, because Anthurium are heavy feeders, such heavy feeders. They are hungry plants. And so what I do is I take a smidge of fish fertilizer, I mix it in with filtered water, and then that's how I water all of my Anthuriums. That is year round when I do it, even during the winter time. So it's super simple to do, and your Anthurium will thank you for it. That is one of the most important things to do is watering. And I'll tell you what, I failed to do that when I was first getting into Anthurium. I was using distilled water. In fact, not distilled water, I was using tap water rather. In fact, I was still using tap water up until about 8 months ago, when I finally learned about the filtered water or distilled water method, and I was wondering why my Anthurium would get some gross looking leaves. I shouldn't say gross, but some spotty leaves. So this is what has done the trick, and my Anthurium have been thriving since, especially this king. The velvety leaf plants, those ones are the ones that really take to the tap water more harshly. And yeah, that is as simple as it gets with watering. Next up is humidity, the stuff floating around me right now. I'm here in my main plant display, and this is where I showcase a lot of my Anthurium. But I will tell you this, you need humidity in order for these babies to thrive. They are humidity lovers, and rightfully so, living in rainforests like in Colombia. The best amount of humidity, the best amount would be around 60 to 80%. At 60 to 80%. Anything below that is a little bit iffy. And they also need for that to be continuous year round. So here in Denver, Colorado, I am constantly pumping up the humidity. And you can see them around my plant display off to the side. I have two large 20-gallon humidifiers, both on each side. And then I also have little humidifiers spread out around here as well. I have links to those humidifiers that I have in the description of this video. So with humidity, another important thing is airflow. Also included in my plant display are a bunch of mini fans. I love these things because they blow the humidity around to different areas of the plant display and to around my home. And on top of that, it creates that air circulation because what happens with Anthurium and other plants that is if that humidity sticks around, it just latches onto them, which could cause root rot, right? I mean, the soil would just constantly remain wet. So good, perfectly good airflow is crucial. And that's really what has been making my Queen Anthurium thrive is being over here where she's getting really good humidity, but humidity that isn't sticking to her. So when it comes to lighting, bright indirect light and medium light are the things that make Anthurium thrive like crazy too. Now I'm here in Denver, Colorado, like I said, and I have western facing windows. So this time of year in July, it is beaming through. And as I'm recording this right now at 4:45 p.m. Mountain Time, the sun is just about to come around the corner, and you can see it's already starting to touch some of my plants over here. And some of them love high, brighter light, but bright indirect light is crucial. So if this sunlight, once it reaches over towards that side where most of my Anthurium are, including my King Anthurium right now, which is getting dappled a little bit. King Anthurium, by the way, can take a little bit more humidity or a little bit more bright indirect light or direct light rather than the others, especially the velvety kind. But what I've been doing is I close the shade around this time of day just to protect them from that light. Now, as the sun continues to make its way over here, the screen will literally start to bright up more and it'll look really good for the plants. But on top of that, I also supplement lighting with grow lights. All of these lights around here are all grow lights in my plant display. And that has been crucial, especially for their growth during the winter months and off months when there isn't as much bright sunshine here on the western side. So inside my crates in this plant display, decked out with grow lights, and then up above them, I have higher voltage lights like my Sansi, my Soltec, and then down below my Barina. So it's constantly giving them that bright, indirect feeling that they love. I'm curious to know, how do you guys handle your Anthurium, and what's your biggest Anthurium mistake? That's the main question I want to know. What is your biggest Anthurium mistake? Let me know in the comments. So, looking back at everything, we went over 5 things, right? We went over soil, we went over water, we went over bright indirect light, humidity, and airflow. Those 5 things are things that I failed at when I first got into plants, and hopefully, plants and Anthurium rather, and hopefully this will help you not make those same mistakes. But as always, I want to thank you guys for watching another one of my planty videos, and if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell for more fun and interesting planty content just like this. By the way, if you want to know another cool trick when it comes to Anthurium, how to make their leaves shine, check out this video up in the corner because I created a comprehensive guide with some simple products that you already have inside your home to really bring out the sparkling pop in those beautiful leaves.